So we're in Clovis, California. We're just getting ready to install a water heater inside. At some point a water softener was added, and here is the issues that we see. You can see that the 1.25" iron pipe is cut, and then a dielectric union, which is great, goes over to a hose bib, and then a hard water supply which goes inside the garage over to the water heater. What's supposed to happen is the water is supposed to go full size 1.25" all the way over to the equipment, and then all the way back and tie in right there. They opted out of that. What they're doing now is they're feeding the entire house through a 3/4 line at the water heater. So what that means is this: you've lost so much pressure in this home. You got 1 inch coming around, 1 inch coming around, and it drops down to the equipment right here. And also it continues through and goes here for an extra hose bib, hard hose bib. So it goes into the unit on this side. This side goes back up. That's conditioned water, soft water. Goes up, comes over, and then it reduces to a 3/4 T right here, brass. So 3/4 T reducer. So you got a 3/4 line that's back feeding the home and also providing water to the water heater. So if you reduce an 1.25" line to 3/4, this will flow about 12 to 15 gallons a minute. The other one flows about 40 gallons a minute. So anyways, just that's not how we would do it, but it's in. We want to get you a new valve. Problem with this valve is it shuts off the flow of water from the home coming out this way, which does not help you. The water here stays on. So if you were to come here and shut this valve off like you normally would and go to take this connector off to the water heater, it would just be continually flowing water. You'd have to go to and shut the whole house down. What needs to happen is the valve needs to be out here. So we'd leave this all, tied in, put a valve right here, and that'll serve the purpose of isolating the water heater, which is required for every sink, every faucet, a shutoff. And but what we notice back here, you can see this little spot right here, this little rust spot, and a little white calcification there. It shows that you've got some inner damage to this piping. It's specific to galvanized piping, and probably in the wall you've got a brass fitting, but that has been weeping from the inside out. And so if we leave it over a period of time, this will begin to drip and finally spray. And there's no way to get it apart. They just soldered everything together, screwed this in, and kept soldering. So anyways, our solution is go ahead and cut this, and then go ahead and remove everything. We can't touch this because we don't have 1 inch copper fittings, and it's soldered too close together to try and get this back together. So we're going to come back over here, put brass, number one, replace this nipple with brass. We're going to replace this one with brass, get a brass T on, and then it'll provide water to the home, and a separate shutoff valve for the water heater, and then we'll take another video when we're done. So we're still here in Clovis, California. We just got the water heater installed here, 50-gallon Bradford White natural gas. Starting at the top, we had showed you the original configuration. The shutoff valve was immediately stubbed out of the wall, which only isolated the home, which means nothing. It's just like a drain valve. So what we had to do, we took everything apart. We gave you some brass nipples. There's iron pipe in the wall, by the way. Iron pipe, galvanized iron pipe 90, piece of pipe, and then somewhere it's going to make a transition to plastic. We don't use iron pipe for anything. It's a horrible product. It rusts, corrodes, breaks down. Brass won't. So solid brass stub out here. Solid brass shutoff valve. These guys are quarter turn on, quarter turn off, so just there and there. It's not required on the hot side. You have a 2-story home, anytime you work on the water heater, you have a lot of water coming out of the hot side, even after you shut the water off. So this just enables you to shut it down and work on the water heater, so that's nice. Cold side required. What we did is, first thing we did, give you a brass nipple, and then a brass T. Just pointed it in 2 different directions. One is for the water heater. This is where the valve belongs, because this shuts off the water heater. Before, it shut off the house, not the water heater, so it was constant flow. So that's good. Second valve there. All brass construction, stainless steel connectors. These are full 3/4 inch inside diameter. They're the largest in the industry. They're made by Falcon Stainless Steel, and so that's what we use. Very expensive, but that's what we like. Brass extensions here from the tank coming up. So this is all tied in nice and rigid. Your conditioned water, or your softened water, this is the line that was run previously, and I already took a video. You can look at that first portion of this video and see it. It comes over and just ties into the water heater. So the soft water, which is this side right here, this guy, comes through, and that's how it feeds the entire home. And again, that line should have gone all the way back around and to the water main and fed the entire home through the full line. So anyways, that's not our problem, but we like to, you know, look at these things and let the homeowner know what's going on. If there's only 2 people in the home, it's not going to affect much because that 3/4 line is going to flow probably 10 to 12 gallons a minute, which is enough for a couple showers, maybe some laundry, whatever. But if you had a big family here, that would be a problem. So anyways, that's the top portion. This is your existing vent. Dual wall adjustable 90 up here that was already installed. This is your vent pipe that we tied back in. It's all screwed back together. Brand new draft diverter, brand new relief valve. This is temperature and pressure safety. Something goes on with the unit, too much pressure and or temperature, this is going to pop off and drain to the outside of the building through this line. This is galvanized pipe, but this is a drain line. All the water is stopped right here. There's a 150-pound spring loaded right here. Water never goes this way at all. If there is water coming out from that line, something's happening with the water heater, or this valve has failed and it needs to be replaced. But so that's not an issue. Falcon stainless steel connector down to that's required 3/4 inch full inside diameter drain line down to existing pipe. That's yours. And then the pipe in the wall is yours, and it stubs out to the outside of the building right here by your hose bib. You can see down there, that's your drain line, and then there's your hose bib they put in for you. Upper third adjustable strap, lower third adjustable strap. This is your model number and serial number. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't even read that, but that's it for registering your water heater. I recommend going to bradfordwhite.com and getting that registered. Down here, existing gas valve, 15 years old, so those things will last the life of the home. Not a problem with those. Brand new gas connector that goes over to the controller. Right now, you see we have this set to hot, which is 120. This is recommended by the Environmental Protection Agency, 120 degrees for safety purposes. Otherwise, you can see right here, scalding risk increases with hotter water. The CDC recommends B, which is 140, to avoid bacteria growing in the tank, you know, because the water's sitting in there, and you know, you're storing 50 gallons of water in there. So if you do decide to raise it up, just be mindful. If you have a big soaking tub, 140 degrees, 3 seconds, 3rd degree burns, you're going to the hospital. If you're infant or elderly, 1 second, you got 3rd degree burns, you're going to the hospital. We don't recommend C or very hot. That's 150, 160, that's crazy. If you do decide to go to 140, what will happen is this water heater, 50-gallon water heater will feel like a 65-gallon water heater. The reason being is you're sending hotter water to a fixture, which requires, let's say a shower, you turn it on, and now it's nice and hot, way too hot, and you have to turn it way back down and mix it with cold water to get the temperature you need. So you're using less hot water and more cold water, so it saves on the storage capacity. So that's one advantage to turning it up. Just be mindful of that temperature. So anyways, everything here looks good. After that, this installation is done.